Hi everyone, it's Sam and I'm back with another video for lawnfawn. Today I'm using the new I Heart Pandas add-on and I Heart Panda stamp sets, all the speech bubbles, party animal, really high five, let's toast pull tab add-on, and stitched hillside borders. As always, I'm going to start my card by spritzing some water onto my craft mat and then using Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers to color the images. To add just a little bit of color to these pandas, which you don't even have to do, you could leave it just stamped black and white and it would be adorable. I'm using mustard and vanilla to color some of the white areas, and then I'm adding blush to the cheeks with light carmine and pale orange. And I'm coloring every panda that exact way. So just a tiny strip of shade with the mustard and pulling it out with the vanilla. And if I thought it was too dark, haha, then I use my slightly damp water brush to pull out the color and kind of make it fade into nothing. And pink cheeks for everyone, because everyone's happy to be here on this card. Of course, I think, like everyone, this sleeping panda is my absolute favorite. He's so cute. I love him so much. And it was super easy to color these pandas. Next, I'm using May green, yellow green, and green to color in probably 90% of this card. I'm coloring all the bamboo shoots and leaves in these colors, just a tiny bit of the darkest color, then going in with the middle color and then pulling it all out with the lightest color. I don't even really use a water brush on these images because they're so tiny. My only tip for coloring super tiny images like this is to use the barest amount of your darkest shade. You do want to still have your darkest shade if you want contrast, like I am very into contrast, but the more of the darkest shade you use, because you pull it out with each step, the more it's going to show up. So if you just use a little bit, you can always add more. It is harder to take away. Easier with zigs than copics, but same. This was about the time I noticed I kept sticking my hand into my green. So my hand is not on the craft mat, I'm kind of hovering it up in the air over the paper so I don't get all the other images smudge prints of green. I should have worked my way from left to right, but alas, I had to start by the pandas. What can you do? What can you do? Eventually, I'll be going back to color in the speech bubbles in the same greens, but I'll show that later. Next, I'm going to be using fog gray and platinum brown to color this cute little pile of rocks, which comes with that sleeping panda. I had an idea for it, but I went a different direction, so I don't actually use it. No big deal. And then again, here we are, same green colors I use for the bamboo, coloring in for the speech bubbles, and a little bit of a little bit of a water brush to pull up the color. Next, I'm going to be using natural beige, pale orange, and pink to color in 2 of these balloons. Just a little strip of the pink, I'm pulling it out with the pale orange, and then I'm using the natural beige to color in the last little area. And I love how different it looks from one end to the other. Next is carmine red, scarlet red, and dark brown for my 2 red balloons. This is my go-to red color combination. And I'm also going to be using a bunch of colors to color in those party hats in rainbow, and I'll show you that too, but I also use carmine red. This last little balloon, I'm going to be using vanilla and light carmine and a little bit of water brush to darken it up or to lighten it up. And next I'm showing you the warm colors I'll be using, which is carmine red, orange, light orange, and yellow. And also the cool colors, May green, yellow green, turquoise green, and light blue. I know it's a lot of markers for these tiny little party hats. However, you have to have a rainbow, so you have to have a lot of markers. That's just all there is to it. And I couldn't let this card pass me by without adding just a touch of a rainbow. So that's basically all my colored images, and they're already so cute. Look how cute. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the card base images. I'm ink blending in Distress Oxide inks in Mowed Lawn, Twisted Citron, and then a tiny bit of pine needles at the top. I keep going over, I like a very saturated look. Oh, I forgot, I also use squeezed lemonade at the very bottom, which is very similar to Twisted Citron, just a little bit yellower. I like a very saturated look, so I continue to go over my ink blended area 2 or 3 times, dark and then light and then darkest and then dark and then light. Same exact colors for both of my hills. Like I said, you may notice these colors, they match pretty well to the bamboo shoots we colored earlier. Lots of green on this card because we got to make it comfortable for those little penguins. Penguins. We have to make it comfortable for the pandas. I'm so sorry. Okay, so yes, same exact technique, starting with the medium, going to the light, and then the darkest. I'm also going to show you the pull tab part of the actual mechanism that I'm going to be ink blending and splattering with white acrylic ink the same exact way so it matches. Cleaning up this little mess I made here. And now I'm just showing you, these are the pieces I die cut, and I'm just going to ink blend with the same colors. So Mowed Lawn, Twisted Citron, and a little bit of pine needles at the top, adding it so that it matches with the background, and then back to splattering the white acrylic ink on top so it matches the background. I'm going to set those aside to dry, and now that they're dry, we can start putting it together. So I die cut out this wraparound part of the pull tab, and I'm just folding along all the perforated lines. This is what's going to keep the pull tab from moving left and right. It's going to keep it in the position that you want it in. And I'm also going to fold the perforated, the score lines, thank you, of the pull tab mechanism. And I'm just folding them towards me and then back and forth, making sure they line up in the front. And next, I'm just going to attach the stitched hillside borders on top of each other so that it makes it easier to make the rest of the card. So I'm seeing where they line up. This is my little guy that's going to be moving on the pull tab, and I want to make sure he's hidden. So I'm just using my pencil to mark it on my background, and then placing the tiny little slot tab, die cutting it, and then I'm moving it up a little bit and die cutting it again just so that it pulls out a lot, because I want this little guy to be flying high in the sky. Okay, record scratch, don't do what I do. I made a mistake and I should have stopped here. However, let's keep going and see how this plays out. When you put your pull tab together, you do in fact place it through, making sure it moves up and down. And since this isn't going to be completely covered by my image, I'm placing my panda on top and then using a pencil to mark where the paper will show through. And I'm just going to trim those little bits off so that you can't see it behind the image when you pull the tab up. And again, push it through, and you can see, now you can't see it at all. Perfect. I'm going to glue that down, but also, guys, look how it moves. It's so great. Record scratch again. I also should have stopped here, but I did not, so let's continue. I'm placing my little wrap die there. See, it keeps it in place up and down. Look how perfect it looks. And this is where I said, oh, shoot. I forgot to die cut the little thumb hole. So through some ingenuity, we'll call it, I ripped off the wrap that we had just glued down and strategically die cut just the top of the pull tab. Die cut out another wraparound, and I'm gluing that back on. And I did save it, as you can see, but boy, that was a mistake. I had 2 times I should have said to myself not to, but I kept going. I ended up die cutting the pull tab cover in black so that it pops. It matches the sentiment strips I'm going to attach to the card. And okay, we're done. We made it. Well, not too bad. Not too bad. I am going to add some foam tape over my little image so it goes in and out easily, making sure that the foam tape does not cover anywhere near where the panda is going to be. So I'm going to adhere that down with some foam tape and a little bit of glue so that it doesn't go anywhere. You know, I like to double adhere all the things. And there, a little party hat peeks through, but it works and it's cute. This is basically what the card is going to look like when I'm finished. I had to lay it out to see, and now I'm just going through and using the glue pen to glue everything down. I love these little bamboo shoot leaves. I'm tucking them behind a bunch of the pandas. Each panda, of course, has a party hat, and I just love how this looks like they're caught in the middle of the mountains of China having a little birthday party. The Am I Late up top is die cut. I'm not sorry, it's not die cut, is popped up with foam tape to match the height of the hills. Everything else is glued directly to the background. I do add a little bit of foam tape behind that panda holding the bamboo shoot in the middle because he is on the grass, so I didn't want him to get bent down, so he's level now. And a little bit of foam tape to the speech bubble. And next, I'm just folding over my card base for this card, and I'm going to add this card with a little bit of foam, a little bit more foam tape for everyone. This card's all about the foam tape because I wanted to, again, make sure that the pull tab mechanism had room to maneuver without being caught and without being flush against the card base. And I'm just attaching it all down, and that's the card. It's so sweet. I don't think a belated birthday card has ever been so forgivable. This little panda asleep but floating up with the birthday balloons. I mean, it cracks me up. I love it so much. I love that even though I made some mistakes, we fixed it and we finished the card. Be sure to check it out up on the Lawn Fawn blog, and thanks so much for stopping by. Bye!